Welcome back, YouTubers. This is Omar from Near Mint Condition, and today I'm going to look at what exactly is Weapon X, the Return Omnibus, and what it has to do with the Weapon X project or the Wolverine series, if anything at all. So stay tuned. So let's take a look at this omnibus here. So look at it without the dust jacket. That's kind of disappointing. Same art in the front and the back as the dust jacket. There's the spine with Sabretooth. It's almost as if they're trying to cash in on this old knucklehead here. Surely not, Marvel. Surely not. Okay, so what is this exactly? Well, the Weapon X project was actually previously collected here in the Wolverine Omnibus. It's the classic Barry Windsor Smith tale that ran through the Marvel Comics Present series. So what does that have to do with this? Well, this omnibus right here, I love the way that it's collected. So we get Wolverine 162 to 166, which collects like Frank Terry's early Wolverine stories and part of the annual. And then we get his quick little run on Deadpool, which collects the Return to Weapon X. And then you start seeing characters show up that will later play a bigger role in the series. You know, looking at this now, I'm surprised they didn't use Deadpool for the front cover to try to boost sales, since he seems to be more of a popular character than Wolverine. Kind of missed that boat, didn't they? And then he goes back into his Wolverine run. I think it's just 172 to 176, if I'm not mistaken. And most of these were drawn by Sean Chen, by the way, and Georges Genti. But this is really cool. In issue 166, he actually gets Barry Windsor Smith to come back and draw a few pages as a flashback to the Weapon X project. So ignoring all the crap that Grant Morrison tried to retcon with his Return to Weapon Plus, or whatever the hell that storyline was called in New X-Men, the Weapon X project is still alive, and they have been kidnapping possible candidates to use as a new team. So think about Weapon X like Thunderbolts or Suicide Squad, for that matter. Just a rag team of C-list villains or heroes at one time, and they kind of get revamped in this series. So the one-shots are collected first, like you have Sauron, you have Agent Zero, which is revealed later on to be somebody else, you have Marrow, and Sabretooth. You have all these one-shots that lead up to issue 1/2, I believe. And then, yeah, this is the Marrow. It's called Weapon X the Draft. There were 5 one-shots. And that leads into Weapon X half, which was a Wizard giveaway, which leads to Weapon X. So it hardly has anything to do with Wolverine when it gets into the Weapon X series. It's just these characters get sent on suicide missions, and their powers, like for example, if you remember Marrow, she was all bony, bones were coming out of her entire body, and she couldn't control her power. Well, they fixed that for her, and that's part of the deal, that she gets to stay and become an assassin. Wild Child from Alpha Flight. Aurora is also the other character from Alpha Flight. Characters you haven't seen for a while, and then of course Sabretooth, which, because Apocalypse took his adamantium away in issue 175 of Wolverine, they kind of make him almost like Deadpool, sort of like an indestructible force that he can regenerate some of his body. So there's a particular issue here. Yeah, this is all art by George Genti. Yeah, this is issue 5. This is the notorious concentration camp for mutants issue, all told through the eyes of this boy. But a lot of, I guess, beloved characters to some people like Maggot and Sienna Blaze kind of meet their doom here. And they end up getting killed almost off screen. So some fans were pretty pissed about that. I never cared for those characters, so I was okay with it. And there's the Professor, there's Aurora. This is just a really cool book. It reminded me, yeah, of Suicide Squad a lot, especially the old Ostrander series. Miss Marrow, I forgot he was a character. And then you also get, like, appearances from other characters like Cable and Boom Boom. It's a team, you know, to try to boost sales of the book. It's Marrow being a complete badass. Yeah, I really missed this title. I missed reading about these characters. Because right now, some of them, I have no idea if the editors even know where they are. This is cool. This is drawn by John Paul De Leon, the guy that did the further adventures of Cyclops and Phoenix. He comes back and does a similar story that takes place in the past with Sinister. And this is Chamber, So, of course, Chamber's the Gen X guy that blew off his chest. Not just his chest, but also his mouth too, his bottom jaw. So, of course, what do they promise him? Promise to fix him up and give him a pretty face again. So, and that's what they do. There's Wolverine. Sales started to drop a little bit, so you have to include Wolverine in here. And there's the Return of Maverick, one of my favorite characters. Agent Zero. I won't reveal who that is because I really enjoy the story and I think you should too. And then sales got so bad that they decided to revamp the book towards the last 8 issues. I think they stuck it in right after House of M. They went through a creative change. But Frank Terry stuck to the writing, and I believe, it was just Tom Mandrake that ended up drawing the rest of the series. So it focused more on Wolverine and the Weapon X projects, but it also introduced characters like Phantom X into the series. He was, of course, from Grant Morrison's New X-Men. And it, like I said, focused more on Wolverine, and that kind of sucks because the lesser-known characters like Miss Marrow and Sauron and Aurora and Marrow all took a back seat to Wolverine because, hey, you got to sell the book. So, I mean, they still appear a little bit in here. I think this is the issue. Yeah, so Tom Mandrake, this is the final issue, by the way, was so bored of this script and this story that in this panel right here, he wrote a little letter to the audience that he can't wait for the series to just die because he is so tired of drawing this bland storyline. Kind of unprofessional, but you know, I guess he never expected people to be reading little things like that. But oh, they did. And then, this is the cover right here. Why do we have an old Wolverine on the front cover? So the series ended up getting canceled, and then about a year later, Frank Terry had a 5-issue Days of Future Now series that he was able to wrap up his storyline. And he did it in a Days of Future Past kind of style, where it takes place in the past, and it takes place in the future, and a lot of characters end up wrapping up their storyline that way. So I thought that was really cool that they did that Marvel gave him a chance to wrap up his storyline. And it was reprinted here, and you get the complete story without missing anything. And while the story did wrap up in Weapon X Days of Future Now issue 5, this is really cool. They take pages that Frank Terry worked on, like New Excalibur number 9, that kind of reset the status quo, because as you know, Chamber still has his mouth and chest blown off. So it had to happen again, and this is where it happened. So they wanted you to have that. They just have those pages, and they have the pages of the flashback with Deadpool here from Deadpool 27. This is the wedding issue, and these are the pages that he wrote. So I thought that was really cool that they decided to include that. And here we go, the character designs and original art. That's Kane from his X-Force days. He looks a lot different. There's Wild Child and Sabretooth, Marrow and Sauron and Miss Marrow. So that in a gist is what Weapon X is, and that's what this omnibus is. This collects every bit of the series. Better look at Kane here. So yes, this collects every bit of the series. It is a huge book. That's why it's $125. Like I said, it collects that Wolverine annual. It collects Wolverine 162 to 166, and then parts of 170 and 171. Then 173 and 174 and 176. Deadpool 57 to 60. The Weapon X one-shots, and then the half issue. This is the one-shots I was talking about. And then it collects Weapon X 1 through 28, the Weapon X Days of Future Now series, which was 5 issues, and then the little things in the back. I'm not sure how much more I can say to sell you on this book. It's got really wonderful artwork, like I said, by Georges Genti, who went on to do the Buffy series with Joss Whedon for Dark Horse. It's got artwork by Sean Chen. It's got a little bit of artwork by Barry Windsor Smith. And then Tom Mandrake towards the end. There's Jeff Johnson, who used to draw The Adventures of Simon, otherwise known as Wonder Man. And another thing about this material is this is the first time most of this has been collected in any kind of edition. I believe the Weapon X just had the couple of trade paperbacks of just the beginning and then the final 5 issues. And then some of the Wolverine stories have been collected somewhere else, but most of this stuff, and of course the Deadpool stuff too, but most of this stuff has never seen a collected edition, especially in oversized format. So I'm really happy to own this. And I'm hoping that I was able to tell you a little more about what this series is and show you some of the beautiful artwork on the inside. And yeah, like I said, just think thumbs Thunderbolts and Suicide Squad, C and B listers, and hell, even D listers sometimes that are thrown into this book, and then you just end up caring about them almost, I want to say, as much as something like Peter David's X Factor. But it's definitely a lot edgier than that. I hope I was able to talk some of you into purchasing this, or some of you out of purchasing this. And if you already know what this wonderful series is about, then you probably already own this. Yeah, just leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of the book. Or if you have any questions and you're still on the fence about it, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be happy to answer any of those as best as I can. Again, this was Omar from Near Mint Condition. I will be doing my monthly haul video probably tomorrow sometime, so keep an eye on this channel. If you enjoyed the content of this channel, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the like button. That would be very much appreciated. And don't forget to check out our weekly show that comes out every Thursday. Again, thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.